Okay. Okay. I think we're live and thank you so much for joining in today. तो कहाँ कहाँ से लोगों ने ज्वाइन करा है? It'll be interesting to know. आप चैट यूज कर सकते हैं. बलराम, आपको आवाज नहीं आ रही है? Is it any better now? Balram, you can use the chat. Okay. So our conversation today, hi Ranjit, you're from Hyderabad. Maman, you're from Murshidabad. Amit, Odisha. We've got Raksha from
Hello.
Goa. We've got Prashant from Mumbai. Lots of people from across the country. Thank you very much for joining in. And let's get started. Hi, Shahzada from Pulwama. I was there in Kashmir the last week on a vacation actually. So thanks for this and thanks for joining in. Let's talk about a very important, very, very critical topic today. And the idea really is, how do we start preparing for corporate jobs? What is needed to prepare for corporate jobs? And in the environment that we are in a manner competing. And this is not a conversation about being non-disabled or disabled. It's not about that. It's really a very factual scenario that as we start looking for jobs, जब हम jobs ढूंढना शुरू करते हैं, हम हमेशा compete कर रहे होते हैं. We are always competing for roles. So this is not about disability or non-disability. This is about competing and how do we prepare for a person with disability, and that is the focus that we will bring in. Thanks, Wilkis. Thanks for joining. So the conversation is very important for all of us today, as
Hello.
you're looking for. Yeah, Bilkis, tell me.
सर सर
Yeah,
और एक लड़की ज्वाइन करना चाहती है.
sure. तो आप वो QR कोड स्कैन कर लीजिए.
जी सर, मैंने उसको लिंक सेंड की. उससे होगा?
I think so, Navya, if you could help her.
हाँ, लिंक से ज्वाइन होगा. लिंक भेज दीजिए. कंटिन्यू हुआ संदीप. सॉरी.
ओके सर.
So
Okay.
essentially, what we want to talk about today is a very important aspect. How do we prepare to become employable in that workplace? हम अपनी preparation क्या करें और corporates क्या देखते हैं और क्या hire करना चाहते हैं. एक एंगल वो है. दूसरा एंगल ये है कि within that sphere, from a disability perspective, हम वो capabilities और skills कैसे demonstrate कर सकते हैं when we start preparing. तो ये दो aspects मैं आज cover करूंगा आपके साथ. The first is, what do corporates start looking for? The reality is that for most entry level jobs, जितनी opportunities आती हैं, एक job description रहता है, उसमें कुछ skills रहते हैं. ज्यादातर organizations skills लिखती हैं, but they are normally not looking for only skills. देखा ये गया है that if you have 60 to 70% of the skill, but you have the right attitude, organizations are open to hiring you, which is a very important element to understand. Is my voice coming? Because I have a few messages which say that my voice is not coming.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
So you are crisp and clear.
Okay, thank you. So a lot of times, especially when you are starting a career, organizations do advertise and publish a set of skills. But as you look at them, the reality is that even if you had 60 to 70% of those skills, but if you had the right attitude, companies will hire. And that is the truth of any hiring. अगर आप talent acquisition और recruiter की नजरिए से देखोगे, they have to hire lots of people with greater awareness becoming and coming into organizations now around disability hiring and inclusion. वो भी एक एरिया है जो रिक्रूटर्स के टारगेट में आ चुका हुआ है. एंड वी स्पीक विद अ लॉट ऑफ कंपनीज, मेनी ऑफ देम से हमें 2% अपनी टैलेंट पॉपुलेशन में पर्सन विद डिसेबिलिटीज इंक्लूड करने हैं. मेनी कंपनीज से वी हैव टू गो अप टू 4%. तो रिक्रूटर के पास कभी भी 100% फिट नहीं होता है. एक ये चीज हमें समझ लेनी चाहिए, बिकॉज इट विल ओनली हेल्प अस. So when we understand this, if we are 60, 70, 80% fit on the skills, we should be ready to apply with the right attitude. लेकिन हमें skills पता कैसे चलेंगे? What are the skills that these companies typically look for? That's a very, very important element. That how do we get to know these skills? And that is where, are all of you comfortable using your phones? Is everybody comfortable using Google? Are you very comfortable using search engines?
Yes, sir.
Yes. You all are comfortable going to job posting sites and job sites like Naukri or LinkedIn or whatever. आप जा सकते हो. Are you comfortable navigating them? आप कर पाते हो? Right.
Yes, sir.
One simple thing that you should start with is try to identify what are the skills that these companies hire most. कौन से skills के लिए hire कर रहे हैं? दो तरीके हैं एम्प्लॉयमेंट ढूंढने का. पहला है, मुझे ये आता है, मैं ये हूं, will somebody hire me? That is one way of looking for a job. The other way of looking for a job is, what is the skill that is most commonly being sought after by companies and employers today, जो मेरे बेसिक स्किल और कैपेबिलिटी से मिलता जुलता है, जिसको मैं ऐड कर सकता हूं या कर सकती हूं. That is another way of looking at preparing yourself for a corporate job. And the moment we do a little bit of research, voice nahi aa rahi, Sabrina. I don't know if everybody else is being able to hear. I am assuming
We
everybody
are
is.
able to hear you. Yeah.
No,
So,
sir, your voice is clear.
thank you. So one aspect is, I have the following skills. मुझे ये सब आता है. मुझे कौन एम्प्लॉय कर सकता है? एक तरीका ये है जॉब्स ढूंढने का. कॉर्पोरेट रेडी होने के लिए दूसरा तरीका ये है, बिकॉज स्किल्ड लेवल पे हायरिंग होती है, एंट्री लेवल पे काफी रोल्स रहते हैं, और आप ट्राई कर रहे हो, समझने की कोशिश करो कि व्हाट आर द skills that these companies look for. And even if I have some level of skills that these companies are looking for, उन skills को मैं कैसे acquire कर सकता हूं या कर सकती हूं, to get ready. And you will find एक pattern emerge होता है कि एक पर्टिकुलर टाइप ऑफ इंडस्ट्री में एक पर्टिकुलर टाइप ऑफ स्किल्स की रिक्वायरमेंट रेगुलरली दिखाई जाएगी. इट मींस ये कंपनी एग्नोस्टिक हो जाता है, इंडस्ट्री स्पेसिफिक हो जाता है. एग्जांपल लेके चलते हैं. पहला एग्जांपल लेते हैं हम. मान लो आईटी इंडस्ट्री है, या हम ये मान लेते हैं कि होटल इंडस्ट्री है. जो भी इंडस्ट्री आप देखोगे उसमें 4 या 5 या 6 तरह के स्किल्स आप एडवर्टाइज कर कहीं ना कहीं देखोगे, और उनकी सर्टिफिकेशंस कहीं ना कहीं आपको दिखेंगी. उनमें से आप क्या एक्वायर कर सकते हो वो समझना जरूरी हो जाता है. एंड जहां आपने वो समझ लिया, उनमें से अगर कुछ स्किल्स में आप इन्वेस्ट कर लेते हैं, तो आपके लिए उस इंडस्ट्री में बढ़ना थोड़ा सा और आसान हो जाता है. अगर आप वहां से शुरुआत करोगे कि मेरे पास अभी ये कैपेबिलिटी है, मुझे ये आता है, कौन सी इंडस्ट्री उसको मुझे हायर कर लेगी, वो भी एक तरीका है कि आप उस इंडस्ट्री सेगमेंट में थोड़ा सा रिसर्च करके देखें कि कौन से स्किल्स ढूंढे जाते हैं, क्या चीज ढूंढी जाती है जिसमें. और आजकल जैसे जैसे आप रिसर्च करना शुरू करोगे, आपको ये इंफॉर्मेशन बहुत आसानी से मिल जाती है. तो ये एक इंपॉर्टेंट स्टार्टिंग स्टेप है टू अंडरस्टैंड स्किल वर्सेस कैपेबिलिटी. ये स्किल है, मेरी क्या कैपेबिलिटी है. तो ये इंपॉर्टेंट है. दूसरा जो हमने ऑब्जर्व करा है बहुत सारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के साथ, कि ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस एडवर्टाइज तो बहुत चीजें करती है क्योंकि वो एक आइडियल कैंडिडेट ढूंढने चलती हैं, लेकिन वो फ्लेक्सिबल भी होती हैं. और मैं एक बहुत छोटा सा एग्जांपल लूंगा. हम एक लार्ज आईटी कंपनी के लिए कुछ हायरिंग कर रहे थे, जिसमें कुछ टेक्निकल स्किल्स की रिक्वायरमेंट थी और प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट स्किल्स की रिक्वायरमेंट थी. हमने बहुत मेहनत करी ढूंढने के लिए लोगों को जिनके पास वो टेक्निकल स्किल्स हो, इंजीनियरिंग स्किल्स हो, एक पर्टिकुलर साल के उनको ग्रेजुएट इंजीनियर्स चाहिए थे। हमें इंजीनियर्स कम मिले, हमें प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर्स ज्यादा मिले। और when we went back to that company, उन्होंने स्ट्रेट अवे हमें कहा, आपको ग्रेजुएट इंजीनियर नहीं मिल रहा, कोई बात नहीं, आप डिप्लोमा होल्डर दे दो हमें, हम वहां कॉम्प्रोमाइज कर लेंगे, लेकिन हम प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट कैपेबिलिटी पे कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं करेंगे। तो कई बार कंपनीज जब जॉब पोस्टिंग निकालती हैं, वो एक आइडियल कैंडिडेट ढूंढने निकली होती हैं, और कई बार हमें लगता है कि हम उसमें फिट नहीं होंगे, हम आइडियल परफेक्ट फिट नहीं है। लेकिन जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन को अगर आप ध्यान से पढ़ेंगे तो उसमें कहीं ना कहीं एक लिखा होगा, इंपॉर्टेंट स्किल्स, प्रेफर्ड स्किल्स, गुड टू हैव, ऐसे कुछ शब्द यूज करे होते हैं। एंड जैसे ही आप उसको ध्यान से पढ़ोगे, आपको ये चीज समझ आ जाएगी कि ये बहुत जरूरी है, और ये इसमें अगर थोड़ा 19-20 भी है तो शायद चल जाएगा, मुझे अप्लाई करके देख लेना चाहिए। और ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है। अगेन, मैं एक रिक्रूटर की नजरिए से आपको ये समझाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूं, क्योंकि यू मे हैव अ डिफरेंट पर्सपेक्टिव। अब इस सब में जब हम आगे बढ़ना स्टार्ट करते हैं इस जर्नी में, एप्लीकेशन की प्रोसेस में, किस क्राइटेरिया पे ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस लोगों को टिपिकली असेस करती हैं, और उसमें दो डायलेमास आते हैं, दो सवाल हमारे मन में उठते हैं। पहला है कि ये सब तो ठीक है, ये एड तो एक नॉर्मल या नॉन डिसेबल्ड के लिए निकाला गया है, तो क्या ये डिसेबल्ड को लेंगे, क्या ये कंसिडर भी हमें करेंगे या नहीं करेंगे? और ये जरूरी सवाल है आंसर करना हमारे लिए, इसको इग्नोर नहीं कर सकते हम, क्योंकि कई बार हमारी सक्सेस उस पर डिपेंड करती है। यहां पे मैं एक बहुत छोटा सा आपको एक्शन पॉइंट सजेस्ट करता हूं कि अगेन कम डाउन टू रिसर्च। और अगर आप में से कितने लोग लिंक्डइन जैसे प्लेटफॉर्म पे आ चुके हो, आपने अपने प्रोफाइल्स क्रिएट करे हैं?
सर
या अमित, राहुल, कौन बोल रहे थे अभी?
हेलो सर
बताइए।
सर मैं त्रिभुवन।
जीवन, हाँ बताओ। सो
हेलो
या आपका हाथ दिखाई दे रहा है मुझे, सो आई कैन सी वेयर यू आर, दैट्स फाइन।
हेलो
Yeah, so a lot of
Hello.
people are saying that yes, I can hear you. I can see a lot of raised hands also. So a lot of people are on the LinkedIn platform. लेकिन हम अगेन प्रिपरेशन कैसे करें? अगर आपने एक जॉब पोस्टिंग देखी है या कोई अपॉर्चुनिटी देखी है जिसमें आपको ये लगता है कि आपका चांस बन सकता है, वहां पे मैं अप्लाई करना चाहता हूँ, उसके बारे में आप रिसर्च कैसे करोगे? 3-4 बहुत छोटे टिप्स मैं आपको बताऊंगा। आप सर्च में जाएंगे लिंक्डइन के प्लेटफॉर्म पे, और मैं ये आई कैन ट्राई एंड शेयर द स्क्रीन ऑल्सो, दैट्स नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम। अगर हम लिंक्डइन के प्लेटफॉर्म पे जाते हैं और छोटा सा हम अगर सर्च करते हैं, राइट, लिंक्डइन पे जाते ही आप क्या कर सकते हैं कि आप उस कंपनी का नाम डालिए, और जहां पे भी आप उस कंपनी का नाम डालते हैं, जब आप कंपनी का नाम डालेंगे, साइड में आपको एक ऑप्शन मिलेगी पीपल, एक कंपनी का नाम, और नीचे लेफ्ट में आपकी ऑप्शन आती है पीपल। प्लीज एक्सप्लेन इन इंग्लिश। श्योर लोकेश। सो व्हेन यू गो ऑन टू लिंक्डइन, if you are on LinkedIn and if you have seen a job that has been posted, yeah, sure, if you can just enable screen sharing, let me try and share that. If you can go and look for a job that has been posted, go to that particular organization's name. Can I share the screen now? Okay, great. So let's look at it. This is my LinkedIn profile and I'm sharing with you now. How to prepare yourself is an important thing as you start looking at it. Can everybody, there is a search bar to the left of this screen, and the ones who are able to use it or they use audio, there is a search bar. In this search bar, you can, like for example, I have put social sector jobs मैंने डाली हुई हैं, but ignore that. You can put in the name of a company, any company that you have found. आपको किसी ने बताया कि यहाँ पे एक जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटी है और आप अप्लाई करना चाह रहे हो. Let us take the name. Let us एक हम नाम डालते हैं. Let's say आदित्य बिरला रिटेल. या ठीक है, ये आदित्य बिरला कैपिटल डाला हमने. अब हमने ये कंपनी का नाम डाल दिया. आप जैसे ही ये कंपनी का नाम डालेंगे, मान लीजिए इस कंपनी में अपॉर्चुनिटीज अवेलेबल है, लेकिन आप समझना चाहते हो कि डू दे एम्प्लॉय पर्संस विद डिसेबिलिटीज, क्या ये पर्सन विद डिसेबिलिटी को हायर करते हैं, क्या इनकी इतनी अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, क्या ये मुझे कंसिडर भी करेंगे. आपके मन में ये सवाल आ रहे हैं. इसमें एक्सट्रीम लेफ्ट में एक आपको
Sir, can you talk in English?
I am talking in English and Hindi both. So if you go into this company, and I have typed in the name of Aditya Birla Capital, because there are lots of people who also don't get English here, so I'm trying to do both. So let's click and let's look at people here. As you click on people, it will give you a list of names. A lot of names it will give you. Can you see this clearly? Yeah?
Yes, we can able to.
So what it's doing is that you have looked for a company. First thing you can do is you can go to the company's page. You can always go to the company's page first on LinkedIn and you can see posts. See what are they talking about. Are they talking about diversity? Are they talking of inclusion? So as we scroll, can you see there is a post here which says, what steps have you taken to empower women? Can you see this post on the screen?
Yes,
Yes,
I can.
yes.
Yes, sir.
Which means this is a company that works in inclusion. It may not be working in disability inclusion right now, but you have seen that they are doing some work on diversity. That means they are talking about it. That's one. Let's keep going forward. And इसमें बहुत सारी jobs posted, as you can see. ABC DigiHire, BFSI's first AI-powered sales recruitment process, 40,000 youngsters, financial literacy programs. There are a lot of posts that are going through. There is one more post here which says, what are some ways in which you have been an ally? If you read and listen more to about it, they will be talking about inclusion all over. The third conversation, as we keep going forward, they are somewhere talking about, look at this. So they are talking of International Sign Language Day. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
If everybody can understand that there is a post which says over 100 of us at One ABC came together this International Sign Language Day to reinforce our commitment. जैसे ही आपने ये पोस्ट पढ़ी, आपको एक चीज समझ आ गई कि ये कंपनी डाइवर्सिटी और इंक्लूजन और डिसेबिलिटी के बारे में समझती है. पहली चीज आपको इससे ही से समझ आ गई. इट मींस हमारे लिए अपॉर्चुनिटी कंपेयर टू अनदर कंपनी यहां बेटर है, क्योंकि इस कंपनी को इस बारे में समझ है. सबसे दैट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. दिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन अंडरस्टैंड्स inclusion and is talking about disability. Now, how much work they have done, we don't know, but at least they are a little more aware. So you can just start looking at some of these posts here and you will be able to understand that. The next thing is, there is a column here called people. Right on top, you can see people. Can you see?
Yes,
In the header? Yeah.
Yes,
This
I can
one
able.
company, you click on people.
Yes, sir.
Next preparation. Whenever you are preparing, right, you can open this and then you will find a lot of names. These are people that you can look for. One approach to do this is you can go back where the company thing you had found. You can go there and you can click on people. You will find names listed like this also. Now within this, what you can do is search for head of HR, DEI, ये 3-4 words and there are 3-4 keywords like diversity, equity and inclusion head, talent acquisition head, talent acquisition manager, HR leader. You can look for some of those names. The names are all here. Let's look at these. Let's look at this name. It says Akhilesh Gurjar, connecting talent for opportunities at Aditya Birla Capital, which means this is a person who may be able to connect you to a potential opportunity. You know that they have that they are already aware of the inclusion part. They are advertising about it. They are talking about it. And there are many such roles that you will find. Let's look at another one. This one says CHRO Aditya Birla Capital. Now, this is where I would request you to do is, before you start sending them connections, create a small introduction about yourself. And another better way to start that conversation is, when we saw that post, you remember we saw the post which was talking of sign language? You remember we saw a post with sign language?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
On that post, and let us go and do that again if we have to, that's not a problem. On that post, what we would want you to do is go into the comment section and start talking about your journey. I have a very brief paragraph, 4 or 5 lines that introduces you, saying, I am very happy to read this post that you are an inclusive company. This is who I am, and I am evaluating you. It is good to reach out and start engaging with these companies on the platform where they are. Just think about it. Lens ko thoda sa ghuma ke dekhte hain. Just change the lens. Why do you think this company has put that post on LinkedIn? Think about it. Why do you get to see that? Why did they put it on LinkedIn? Because
So
they want.
there are
Why do you think? Tell me.
there are some reasons. First of all, CSR, under CSR they have some money, so they should spend. So on 3rd of December they generally put ये इससे मैटर नहीं करता कि वो उससे कुछ रिलेशन है कि नहीं है. सेकंड थिंग इज वो सच में वो अच्छे हैं, वो सच में
हो सकता है, राइट? सो आपका जो आंसर है बिल्कुल परफेक्ट आंसर है, बिकॉज लाइफ में 50%, इफ देयर इज 50% प्रोबेबिलिटी that they are actually an organization which is doing some work in that space, and there could be a 50% probability that they are doing it because everybody else is doing it. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But is 50% probability a good probability for us to look for a role?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
It is a pretty
50%.
high probability, right?
Yes.
So one simple rule in life is, if you don't ask, the answer will anyway be no. But if you ask, there is a 50% probability that the answer could be a yes. Correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
50%
Right, sir.
probability बहुत होती है.
Yes.
But if we have not even asked the question, 100% no हो गया. Right?
Yes.
The
Yes, sir.
moment you ask that question, 50% probability is that they may actually be thinking about it. They may not have started. But the reason that they have put out this post on LinkedIn is they are trying to make others aware in their network that, hey, as a company, we are very focused on becoming inclusive, or we have taken a step. That is the reason they posted it.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right, sir.
On that post, if you engage with them and say, well, this is interesting. Are you planning to hire? I am here, and these are my skills and capabilities. For example, I went to your job post site. I saw there are jobs available there which require a commerce graduate and require some accounting skills because you're a financial services company. This is the skill set that I have. Whom do I talk to? What if you put it right there on that post? You will find somebody will definitely respond to you because it is in the open platform. So that is one way of wanting to looking at preparing. The other is we reach out to these individuals directly. We send out a message to them and then see. So for example, how do we do that? We send out a connect message. Can you see my screen? Can
Yes,
everybody
sir.
see the screen? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Moment you
Yes,
click
yes,
on this,
yes, I
it
can
gives
see
you
a
two
screen.
options. Yeah, it gives you two options. One is send, the other is add a note. And the moment you click on add a note, it will allow you about 300 words. If you look at it, it allows you exactly 300 letters. What if we wrote to you that I saw your post on inclusion of hearing impaired and would like to connect with you. Okay, can you see? And we send it. It's a very simple way, but a lot of times you will find if in a day you are able to send, of course, after research, look for companies that are actively doing work in the inclusion space. Look for companies that have posted jobs out and they are doing that kind of work. Understand the skill sets that they are looking for. And if you have 60, 70%, 80% of that skill set, then look for it. If you send it, there is a high probability somebody will revert to you because they are trying to work in that space. So this is one approach that you can take. The other, of course, is you can start applying to jobs that are available. But hota kya hai that we are typically very afraid. We are very afraid of applying for jobs because we have the fear of, what is the fear? Let me ask that. What is the fear of at times when we are trying to apply?
Rejection.
Rejection on
Fear of
behalf of
rejection.
our disability only.
Absolutely. Somebody may comment about our disability. And that is the reason I'm saying that. And what happens when we get rejected?
Disappointment, confidence
Negative.
low.
Negative.
Negative ho jate hain, right? That's right. Disappointment happens. So at times we hold back in applying. We stop applying many times. We lose faith. Which is why what I'm saying is that as you're preparing yourself to start applying, do your preparation before. Always do your preparation before. Spend more time on preparation and less time on applying. How are you preparing? 3 things that we have discussed till now. The first one, look for the kind of jobs that are being posted by these companies, or look for skills in a particular sector. And you will find it is not very difficult to do that also. Let me again try and see if I can show you my screen. And I'm going to Google right now, and I'm just actually trying to, we can try Google, we can try, how many of you have tried ChatGPT?
Yes, sir, I did.
You did?
Yes, sir, I did.
Yes, I am also using.
Right. Okay. What do you use it for?
Sir, to
Resume
write
some
professional
job.
emails,
emails and
or to ask questions, or to find out about new things, something like that.
Find out about new things. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. What else?
Excel questions.
Excel questions. Okay. Can you see my screen again? Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes, I can see a screen.
Yes, sir.
So I am asking Bing, what are the most common skills at entry level for coding? Okay, I could say for I know I could say sales that companies are looking for in India. I've just put that question. Let's see what comes out. But many times you can just Google this. What are the kind of skills? And you can actually go on to job posting sites and it'll actually pull out data. But the thing with Bing is that it'll be actually bringing in data from job portals. So if you can see, what it is doing is it's bringing out data from Indeed.com, which is also a job posting site. Okay. Now let's look at what has it done. It's given us a list of skills that companies are looking for. And they've said active listening, empathy, communication, objection management, which means handling criticism from a customer, negotiation, self-motivation, product knowledge, time management. One way to approach it is when you start working on your resume and when you start preparing for such interviews, think about how well prepared are you with some of these skills. And that's a very, very important one, because what we say is that there are 6 key things that companies look for when they are trying to hire. Always. The first one is the right attitude. What is attitude? Can somebody tell me? What is attitude? Attitude kya hota hai? Why are companies hiring for attitude more than skill?
I think it's like
our behavior.
Sorry,
So-
clear. Yeah.
Our personal behavior.
Your personal behavior. Okay.
or our personality.
How
Our personality. Okay.
how we are talking with others,
Identity.
how we are
Our
talking with
identity,
others,
how we are talking with others. Okay.
others and politeness.
The way we are interacting with other people,
The
like
way we interact
in a
with
positive manner or in a negative manner, you know.
Right.
Could
And
be.
Impression.
the impression that we are creating through our attitude. So many times the word attitude gets taken in a very negative manner, because we tend to say usko bahut attitude hai, that guy has too much attitude. Do we say that? So it is not that attitude that we're talking about. The attitude here is, do you have an attitude which will help you settle into a work environment? Which means, are you open to learning? Are you open to taking inputs? Are you open to listening? Are you stuck up, or are you constantly open to learning and absorbing new things? Are you curious? And curiosity kya cheez hoti hai? Can somebody explain what is curiosity? Anyone? What is
Learning new things. Learning
जानना
new
वो
things.
चीज को एकदम दिल
किसी
से
चीज को जानने
So
की
being
इच्छा।
interested in
Dill
something.
se jagna, right? In English, it's called curiosity. In Hindi, it's called jigyasa.
Jigyasa. Yes.
So that's curiosity. And you will
Learning.
realize that when we are kids, we are very curious. We want to try out new things. We want to
Learning
learn
things.
different things. We want to explore different things.
Yes.
As we grow up, we start becoming limited in that. But for employers, one of the most important thing is how curious are you? And all these are subcomponents of attitude. What is the right attitude that companies look for? How curious are you? How open to learning are you? How open to taking feedback are you? If you have that attitude, even if you are 70, yeah, sure, you have a question? Sure, go ahead.
नो सर मैं कह रहा था सर पॉजिटिवनेस।
Positiveness. Okay. So in a manner, positiveness usi mein aata hai that if you're open to taking feedback and if you're curious, you are positive. So the question here is, attitude is the most important thing after skills. Skills, again, even if 60, 70%, 80% fit agar aap ho, but your attitude is great, which means you are flexible. Company ki apni requirements hogi. Please remember one thing very clearly. आप जॉब के लिए जा रहे हो, चैरिटी के लिए नहीं जा रहे हो, and somebody is employing you because they want work done.
Yes, sir.
They will compare the quality of work that you deliver with somebody who is non-disabled also. उसके deliver करने के आपके तरीके अलग हो सकते हैं. Your ways of delivery can be different. You may take a little longer time in initially learning because of either technology adjustments or certain other accessibility needs that you have. But once you come on board, once you are trained, the output people expect is similar. Because if you expect that somebody will give you a discount in a corporate environment, they are not doing CSR at this stage. They are hiring you as an employee. So the first thing is, that is an important part of your attitude, that I am here with the right attitude to learn and deliver at par. Unless you are talking that at interview stages, in your resume, your chances do not get strengthened. So you have to be very clear about your attitude. The other aspect is self-development. Companies, what are they looking for constantly? There are 6 things, as I said. We've just spoken of the first one. The second one is, how are you considering self-development? और वो आपके resume से निकलेगा. That is there in your resume. How have you added skills? How have you learned new things? And many times we do not write about this in our resumes. In the next session, we will cover resume writing also. But it is very important that when we are going for interviews or we are preparing, we are very clear in our mind, what are we trying to do around self-development? And very, very important is that ये सारे skills कई बार we will not get it. We may not have had the experience. And that is the reason we want you to start understanding why these things are important. Why are these things of attitude, some of these aspects very, very important? And how do you become little more aware of what is happening in the workplaces? So, for example, I'll give you another example. Have you heard of BPOs? Have you heard
Yes,
of
sir.
BPOs?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
You heard of KPOs also? Yeah.
Mm,
No?
no, sir.
KPO is
No,
knowledge
sir.
processing. So they are knowledge processing, knowledge work. BPO is more standardized work. KPO is more thinking work. But it is the same way of working, which is standardized and learning based. But what we want you to understand is that every business today, every business, you talk of banks, you talk of FMCG companies, you talk of retail companies, you talk of telecom companies like Airtel or Vodafone, everybody has created BPOs to service their customers. BPO is not a standalone entity. And that is why it is becoming very important for you to start understanding what are the kind of organizations existing out there, and do your research. Another way that we can help you from a Saarthi perspective is that there is a lot of content that is available on the employability program at Saarthi. It covers a range of things on resume building. It covers interview skills. It covers how do you present yourself, how do you communicate, all of those aspects, as well as understanding what kind of companies exist out there. So do your research, but you can also be part of programs like these that are available with us. But 2 key things. The first is building your attitude. The second key thing is self-development. And in your self-development is where the employability program fits in. You can evaluate that. But what it does is it helps you build your resume, build your interview skills into the fullest, build your self-presentation. And I still remember one situation, and I want to share that situation with you, that I had gone to Delhi University and I was mentoring a group of about 50 students who were visually impaired. 50 students. They were from across Delhi University, and Hindu College had hosted that. And I was there, and one of this challenge was a lot of people said, we don't get calls. We are not getting enough calls right now. हमको interview call नहीं आता है. When we write on our resume. But the way they were using technology, many times, and a person with visual impairment tends to use technology a lot, whether it is talkback, whether it is using the laptop. Very, very comfortably they were using it. And I asked somebody, I said, how will the employer, जो आपका नया employer है, how will they get to know that you are so comfortable with technology? Because many times the employers do not know what they do not know. They have never experienced a person with visual impairment or a person with disability who can use technology like this.
Right.
Right? In fact, if you listen to a person with visual impairment, listening to a message, they're actually listening at 10x the speed.
True, sir.
True. But we are listening at 1x the speed, which means they are working 10x faster when it comes to listening and responding. But the employers many times do not know that. So my simple question to them was, to the students was, how do we show this off? How can we show this off? And many times people say, no, I'm going for an interview. I don't want to be a show off. And my simple input was, you must show this off. Decide how will you show it off. And one of them said, what if somebody records me using this technology and I'm going to send that video link? And it was a very simple tool, a very simple thing. But they found it very powerful and they used it. And many people got interview calls. Very simply because the employer was amazed that they were not aware this technology could be used in a particular manner. So you have to realize these are realities that we are facing, and we need to focus on the attitude and the self-development. And for self-development, just to reiterate the thing, it covers resume building, interview skills, self-presentation, communication skills. So consider some of the content that sits on the Sarthi platform, on the employability platform, look at it. The third element now I want to talk about is performance. The third element is performance. Are you very clear in your mind that you are expected to perform at par? Please do not expect grace marks. And when you get an opportunity to go for an interview, be very clear in your mind that agar wo ek non-disabled, say if the expectation from a non-disabled is 100, then it is the same expectation from you. In terms of the product or service, the way you handle it could be different. You may use a different tool, you may use a different accessibility, you may sit on a different kind of chair, you may need a different table, that's fine. But are you able to deliver at par? You may take a little longer to learn. Companies are okay with that also. Because just like, let me ask this, that it's not about disability. Are two people the same when it comes to learning and delivering, even if they are non-disabled?
No, they are not.
They're not. And organizations have begun to
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
They're
Yeah.
different. They're different,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So in the same way, our learning curve can be different, but eventually how we deliver has to be the same. So always remember that one reason why employers do not hire many times is a very simple reason, that they are actually saying, is this an issue, that is this a challenge that I have, that I should hire somebody, but I will have to discount performance? Is that the expectation? And that answer has to be no. An employer should not be expected to discount any performance. And that's a very, very important thing. And as you say that, during interviews or when you are writing a resume, you should be able to talk about it. But we'll talk a little more about this. So performance is a very important element. The next one, and very, very important, is how are you creating an inclusive environment? Aapka ecosystem, what is your ecosystem today? Because many times employers don't know how to include you. They don't know what needs that you have. They may not understand that, for example, I can see Kumar's hand raised here and I don't know. But let's say, for example, Kumar requires, let's say, an accessible area to, maybe use a wheelchair or walk up, and maybe a higher adjustable chair. For example, whenever I go for trainings or meetings, I always ask for a higher chair with arms. I am unable to sit on a lower chair. I always ask for that. Even before I go, I ask for it. When they say, what do you need? I say, for me, this is what will be needed. Many times when we are applying for jobs, if we explain, what do we need to be successful? it becomes easier for employers to understand us. Most times what happens is we expect employer को पता होगा हमें क्या adjustment चाहिए. Employers will will know what is needed. Employers don't know everything. We know what is best for us, right? Is that right or not?
Yeah, sir,
Yes,
right.
sir.
Yes,
We
sir.
know
Yes,
what
sir.
works for us, right? What is my accessibility need? Only I know. I know best. But if we state it upfront in the way when we are applying for jobs or when we go for interviews or when we write resumes, it becomes much easier for employers and our teams, our colleagues to understand how to work better with us. And many times we hesitate in saying that. हमें
Yes.
लगता है अरे if I ask for this upfront, what if they will not hire me? But you
Yes,
know
sir.
what?
Yes, sir.
Actually, you are making the employer's life easier. You are making it easier for the employer to choose you and to be able to hire you. So that's a
But-
very, very important thing.
But sir,
Yeah.
कभी कभी हम लोग ऐसा बोलते हैं, तो हमको लगता है कि वो हमको इस कारण के वजह से रिजेक्ट नहीं करते.
Correct.
अगर हमने बोला कि हमको ये एक एक्सेसिबिलिटी चाहिए,
Right.
बट अगर वो लोग के पास नहीं दे पाए, तो हमको वो इनसिक्योरिटी रहती कि हम लोग को वो रिजेक्ट नहीं
नहीं कर
करते.
लेकिन फिर भी हम
Yes,
अगर
sir.
चले भी गए, then we will not be successful,
Yes.
right? So the
Correct.
risk is both sides.
Yes.
Which risk is better?
Sir, this.
Ask. Absolutely.
So
So
my
the
question,
point is that if we do not express what is needed, many times these are very
But-
simple. Yeah.
सर फिर लगता है कि वो लोग हम लोग के बारे में कुछ गलत नहीं सोचे,
Okay. And which is why.
क्योंकि बहुत जनों की ये मेंटालिटी होती है कि हम लोग अगर बोलते हैं कि हम लोग डिसेबल्ड है, तो उनको क्या लगता है कि हम लोग कुछ कर नहीं सकते, हम लोग को कुछ
Exactly.
पता नहीं है, ये सब. तो हमको वो कैसे उनको समझाए, वो नहीं होता है ना. ये
Exactly.
भी एक पॉइंट है.
बिल्कुल ये जरूरी पॉइंट है. इसीलिए शुरू से जो मैंने आपको सजेस्ट करा है, रिसर्च द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बिफोर अप्लाइंग. और जब आप थोड़ा सा रिसर्च करोगे, you will understand that this is a company which is working towards inclusion. Is this a company that is more aware about inclusion? Because then our conversation becomes easier.
बट सर,
Yeah.
मैं बोलती हूँ जो कंपनीज नहीं लेती है,
Right.
हमको उनको भी मतलब उनके साथ भी कनेक्ट होके उनको भी हमको बताना चाहिए कि हम लोग जैसे भी लोग हैं,
Right.
तो उनको भी अवेयर करना चाहिए कि एटलीस्ट वो लोग भले हमको हायर नहीं करे, लेकिन दे शुड बी अवेयर ऑफ all people like us, we can do it.
Right.
Yeah,
I
actually, that makes
completely agree
sense.
with- Yeah. Yes, somebody is saying something.
I was just saying that actually makes sense, whatever she's saying.
Absolutely. And the point here is, so let's also be a little more practical. There are organizations that will be on a range, on a spectrum of awareness and inclusion. That's the reality. In that reality, there are companies that are more evolved. Yeah, Fahim, the team will just respond to you. Yes, we will help you. So if you can just connect with us on, our mail ID, sure, we'll be able to help you. So to your point, yes, absolutely right. There are two types of companies. There is a range of companies. There are companies that are very evolved in their inclusion journey, which means they have understood it. They have worked on, let's say they started their journey on women inclusion, then they have come down to disability inclusion. They are talking about it. They are hiring. They are putting it out on LinkedIn and other places. And they are also advertising for hiring persons with disabilities. एक स्पेक्ट्रम पे वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस है. दूसरे स्पेक्ट्रम पे जो आप कह रहे थे, there are another set of organizations that are not aware. At Sarthi, what we are trying to do is to work with both these kinds of organizations. For one, helping them hire, bring in talent like yours, and at the other end, making organizations aware of what is possible. So we are trying to do work at both places. But remember, when you are looking for jobs, it is easier to start targeting and making organizations aware of what is doable. And if you're starting with organizations that are a little more aware, and if we are working with them and you are able to identify some of that, that is what we want you to first focus on. Because if you have 10 opportunities available, 20 opportunities available, it is better to target organizations that are a little more inclusive.
Sir.
Yeah. Who's that?
Sir, Tribhuvan here.
Yeah, Tribhuvan, tell me.
Sir, can't companies train us according to what they want us to do?
Companies can train you on what they want to do, but remember what is happening also is that companies are willing to train if you have some basic skills. So I will give you an example. And again, this is an opportunity. Please reach out to the Sarthi team. We have a lot of skills that are available on our platform, which are related to the specific industries that you may want to work on. These are specific training programs. For example, for financial services, we have programs available on the platform which relate to accounts payables, account receivables. Those kind of programs are available. What is happening now is that companies are moving more and more towards hire, train and hire. So they want to train and then hire. So what we have done is, understanding that need, we've built a lot of those programs, and I would encourage you to come to the platform and have a look at it. There are many programs that are available by industry. Okay, does that help you answer your question? Yes. After that, the 30-40% gap that has to be bridged, that the companies will always train you. So have you understood what I am trying to explain?
No, are there any programs where we can get on the job training?
That is right. So there are a lot of programs. If you please come on to the Sarthi platform, there are online and other programs that are available where you can add skills which are related to a specific set of jobs. Does that help you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you want the link to the platform, we can add it here also on the chat. Yeah.
Okay. Resume building में ये skills बताएंगे क्या आप कैसे लिखना है? जो है अभी बताया ना हमने कि handicap है तो लिखना पड़ेगा उसके अंदर.
हाँ, लिखना पड़ेगा. Sure.
क्योंकि हम लोग को बताया था ना जब तो ऐसे कुछ बताया नहीं, मतलब लिखना है ऐसा करके, जैसे नॉर्मल रिज्यूमे रहता है ना वैसे ही लिखा था हमने.
आप एक बार सारथी के प्लेटफॉर्म पे एक बार आके आप रजिस्टर करो, we'll pick it up from there.
Yes.
Does that help?
Yes, yes.
Because अगर आप once you open the Sarthi page, it will say for person with disabilities.
Yes.
Please open that, and then Fahim, don't worry about the 1 year gap. It is not difficult at all. Many people have 2 to 3 year gaps also because of disability that they may have at a late stage, and it is absolutely fine. Again, the message here is companies that are more mature are able to understand this challenge. And again, I will give you an example. There is an IT company that we were recruiting for, and they actually said, we want engineers only from 2020 batch. And we had somebody who was from a 2018 batch, but the person had an accident, took 2 years for recovery, and was now employable. We asked the recruiting teams, why are you insisting on only 2020? And they said, our salary level is so much, and hence. So the issue was not the batch. In their mind, if there was somebody with 2018 batch, their worry was they will have to pay more money. But if the person has not had any experience, that person will be competing with the 2020 batch, correct? So many times companies को वो ये चीजें नहीं पता होती हैं, but it is important for us to work with them. So Mamta says that we should accept our disability first. I think we should focus on our abilities instead of worrying too much about our disabilities, because when you're looking for employment, Mamta, as I was just trying to say, there are 6 things. Attitude. Second is self-development. The third is performance. अगर आप same performance देना चाहते हो. The fourth is inclusion, which means how will you get included? It is for us to tell the company what will work for us. I need transport. I need work from home. I need an accessibility through a wheelchair. I need a software which helps me read my screen. I mean, these are 4 or 5 things that essentially people need, right? But we need to be very clear about what we need. That's an important thing. As you do that, and the next one was, you know, how do you move from all of this to role modeling? Can I start becoming a role model? And role modeling is very, very important. जब आप employers के पास जा रहे हो, how do you talk about your story? आप अपनी story कैसे सुनाते हो? And to Mamta's point, are you saying, oh, I have a disability? Or are you saying, well, you may see my disability, but by the way, these are 5 things that I can do, which are specific to your role, your job posting. Those have to be handled in the interview stages. And how to give interviews, of course, we'll be covering. There is a lot of content on the platform on the employability skills, but we'll be having one more conversation in a few weeks from now around resume writing, and then subsequently, yeah, that's right, Mamta. So you want them to see my abilities beyond my disability. Absolutely. Which is why the 6 words that I'm continuing to use is attitude, self-development. The third one is performance. The fourth is inclusion. The fifth one is role modeling, which means I am like a role model. You see my disability, but by the way, I have the same 5 abilities, which is skills that you needed, attitudes that you needed, performance that you need. I just tend to operate a little differently. I may have a slightly different set of needs. And that's the conversation which takes you to role modeling. You become a role model for the company in that stage. How do we talk about it? And the last one in this 6 is E, is environmental awareness. How aware are you of what is happening in the employment space? Which new companies are coming? Which new sectors are coming? Which new skills are needed? How aware are you? That will help you get jobs. Because if you keep looking at the traditional sectoral industries, you may remain stuck. And which is why, again, coming to the Saarthi platform may help you. Researching will help you. And so you need to start thinking about some of this. And while we will cover skills with you, which is around resume building, interview skills, presentation skills, communication skills, we also want you to become aware of the newer age things, which is BPO hota tha, call centers hain, bahut cheezein hain. KPO is knowledge process industry, where you might do analytical kind of work, data kind of work. And then you have LPO, which is the legal process outsourcing. Now, that does not mean you necessarily have to be a full-fledged lawyer. At times, even a paralegal can work on that. So the point is, there are a lot of skills that are emerging. Our job is to make sure you are becoming more aware. And in this journey, you are focusing on these 6 things that companies really look for. And the acronym for these 6 things. A for attitude, S for self-development, P for performance, I for inclusion, which means helping others include you, R for role modeling, and E for being aware of the environment. We call it aspire. ASPIRE. आप कैसे aspire करोगे? That is what we want to really talk about. And we want you to become more aware that this is what companies essentially look for. So it's easy to remember. You know, school में हम लोग कैसे formula याद करते थे? Yeah? ऐसे छोटे words बना के करते थे ना?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's the same thing. Remember aspire. A for attitude. S for self-development. P for performance. I for inclusion. How will you include me? Right? And after that, role modeling and becoming aware of the environment. That's the E part of it.
Yes.
These 6 things are very, very important as you develop your mindsets. This will help you get very ready and use these tools. Get onto LinkedIn, read about organizations, go to an organization. Let's say they have posted a job for hiring person with disabilities. It could be on Naukri, LinkedIn, it could be on the Sarthi portal. We would want you to come onto the Sarthi portal. We have the portal ready and there are jobs posted out there. The moment you see that organization, read up about it, go to their website, see which are the people that you can get to know. What are the kind of jobs that they're talking about? What are the kind of posts that they're putting about? If those posts are about inclusion, you know this is a company that understands inclusion. It is easier for you to work with them. It's easier for you to demonstrate. And to Mamta's point, it is easier for you to talk about ability versus disability with such organizations. Sure, we are trying to make more organizations aware because a lot of the conversations that we are having here, we are putting it out on LinkedIn, on Facebook and other places so that more people become aware, more employees also become aware, more hiring managers become aware. We also work with a range of these companies. But in your journey, because you have to pick and choose your battles, you cannot go and fight everything. We want you to make sure that you are successful. Acquire the skills, come onto the platform, learn a few things, add skilling, and meanwhile, do your research and pick and choose organizations that are more progressive than others. Because then it becomes easier. And then you can focus your energy. Aapki energy waste nahi ho rahi hai. Does that help you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is what we really want to drive with you. And the idea here is that we want to make sure that you are successful, but understand these little things. Do not worry too much about what if I ask, what will somebody say? If you are talking to an organization that is more aware, the probability of your success is also higher, which is all that we want you to understand. The other is come to the platform, try out the Sarthi platform, see what skills can you acquire. We have a range of skills that we put in, which are very specific functional capability and employability skills. Both are available for you to try out. And meanwhile, there are jobs that are also getting posted. So there also, you can interestingly learn. If you go to a job posting, you might find the organization provides the following things. In fact, when we have companies who come and post jobs on our platform, they are expected to mention, do they allow flexibility? Have they hired for disability before? A lot of that stuff is right available there. Yes, absolutely. IT related courses are there. Diksha. It depends on the nature of disability many times because some of the coding skills and other things may or may not be, the content may not be accessible. So we have to check which and match the disability with the kind of skills available. But once you come and register, you'll be able to pick it up. So with that, I would like to, Jyotika, yes, we work extensively with organizations on sensitization. And at times it is bundled with a complete set of offerings. organizations, there is a separate page, link on the Sarthi website for corporates. An organization can come and register there. They can do a self-assessment right there in terms of understanding their disability inclusion journey, where they are versus where they want to be. And accordingly, the solutions are provided. That can include sensitization. That can also include a range of other things, like accessibility audits, physical, technical, and social. We also cover the social part of it, which means, is the ecosystem aware, and do they know how to onboard a person with disability and normalize that? So we cover all those aspects as well. But do drop us a mail, Jyotika, and we'll be able to reach out to you on that. Yeah. So with that, I'll pause here, and if there are any questions, we'll take 2-3 more questions and wrap up.
So,
yeah,
I did data analytics from American India Foundation.
Okay.
I'm searching for a job in this field, but I'm not getting. I'm completely at home.
Okay.
Not going outside.
Okay.
So, what can you suggest me?
Would you be able to drop across a note to HR at, can you drop a resume or a note across to us?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Where
so
I can
drop it at hr@sarthi.com.
Yes.
Found the email in the chat box.
Okay.
Mamta, yes, psychological counseling, there are opportunities available in the corporate sector. In fact, a lot of corporates are talking about wellness as an agenda. And I'm sure there would be opportunities. If you can please write us a note and we can see what is possible. We can definitely try this one out. Because wellness after COVID, if you realize, post-COVID, a lot of companies have actually brought in counselors at the workplace. These are typically projects, or these could be outsourced, but many companies have actually gone and hired people. So you can definitely do this. So 2 things that I would want you to focus on is, next session we will cover specifically on building a good resume. But if you found today's discussion useful, Nitesh has shared a feedback form, a link on the chat. Please do give us your feedback so that we can make these conversations more relevant for you, better for you, while we have a limited 1 hour that we put in. But we have very frequent conversations. We are here about once every 2 weeks or something like that, so that we can build what you want. So this feedback really helps us. But meanwhile, as you prepare for it, please do, yes, Abhi, there are chances for MBA candidates, but again, you must mention what particular specialization and what skills have you added. Please do share. There are roles that we constantly have. Also, please do follow the Sarthi page on LinkedIn and on Facebook, and you will find a lot of job postings. Does not matter, Jyotika, HR, you could write either way, it will still come on the mail. But do follow the page, because there are jobs that are regularly getting posted. As we speak, there are at least 10 to 15 jobs that are currently being shared and they are posted. We are hiring. There are lots of these jobs that are also on the portal. Please come and register there. Look at the jobs, see what works for you. Look at the skilling programs that are available and start picking that up. And if you are representing a corporate, please do navigate or drop us a mail and we'll definitely reach out to you. And you can always navigate the entire site, click on corporates, register there, and you will be able to go through that. So please do share your resumes, and happy to pick these conversations up. Any other questions before we wrap up?
Okay, so I think we can wrap up, sir.
Yeah. So Jyotika, you have a question. If you just drop us a mail or whatever, and we can pick it up from there. Yeah. I've sent you the mail ID. You could please write to us, and we'll revert on that.
So
With that,
on the
thank you.
chat box, you get a
Yeah, on the chat box.
yes. So right, Nitesh sir has also sent the website link to the PWD courses that are available and the jobs as well.
So if you look at the chat, there are 3 things that Nitesh has sent. There are, you can share feedback. That's an important one. Jobs that are available and courses that are available. And Jyotika, I have responded to your mail, your query with my mail ID. You can drop us a note and we can pick it up from there. Yeah. Yes, some of the courses are free. Saurabh, some of the courses are free. Some are really subsidized. I mean, they're at like very, very low prices. There are some professional courses that we've also tied up with a set of other professional bodies which are available here, and they're also very, very low price. So the idea is not to make money on that part of it, but we want to make sure that you are able to skill yourself. Okay. But some are free and some are low price. So you could pick it up from those. Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah.
Sir Tribhuvan.
Yeah, Tribhuvan.
Sir, I've been down with the Parkinson's.
Okay.
And I'm looking for a job. From past 3 months, I'm jobless. So I'm looking for ways to for a source of income. I'm totally confused. I don't have much skills which I can learn.
Okay. So again, please do drop us a note. We'll reach out one-on-one with you and understand exactly what is the level of disability and what is possible with you. Can you drop us a note separately? Are you able to use any? Amit, you have thalassemia and require transfusion every 2 weeks. I don't think that should be too much of a worry. What are your skills and capabilities? We speak of invisible disabilities pretty regularly to a lot of potential employers. Do drop us your resume, drop us a mail, and please register immediately. And let's pick it up from there. And do mention your skill sets, Amit. A lot of organizations are very, very aware of this, and they are fairly flexible about this. Yeah.
Sir, I did share my resume with Neha.
Yeah.
Neha already.
You have shared your resume with, yeah, sure.
Neha.
You're already registered. Please drop a mail. That's fine. And you shared your resume with Neha. I'll pick this up.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you
I'm
so
not sure. I'm not sure what to do, sir. No.
That's fine. So one of the counselor will call you. Don't worry about that. We'll have a chat with you.
Yes. Sure. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
everybody. Thank you, Sandeep sir, and thank you, Deeksha, for interpreting for us. And thank you, everybody, to join us this evening.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.